Okay, so today I'd like to share with you something that has been very difficult for me, which is being vulnerable. Being vulnerable has been the hardest and the scariest thing to do, and only lately I've realized why was that so for me, and that is because I was scared of my inner world. I was scared of the unknown, what I might discover if I were truly honest with myself. Well, there were a lot of surprises, but there were also um, that path also revealed to me how I was conditioned to look good, or wanting to look good, wanting to be smart, and wanting to be the best, and in that sense never allowed myself to be me. Therefore, starting to be vulnerable, even sharing this video is outside of my comfort zone, because I mean, I want to have better hair, I want to look better, and I don't want to talk about things that are so me. That's the thing. uh, but I also, while learning being vulnerable, I've learned to be myself, and I am still learning to be myself. And now, in retrospect, when I look at, my adventures, living around the world, living in different countries, having different projects, having different businesses, um, while those adventures were also in some ways unknown, they weren't as scary as the adventure that I had to do towards myself, because there was a lot of fears. What if I discover something about myself that would mean that I would have to change my life around? And I'm still on the journey of discovering and realigning my life for what I'm truly am. And that is where vulnerability comes in for me. Just being open to acknowledge the things don't work, the things that I am or I'm not, the things that I'm feeling, experiencing, and in that being okay with my imperfection, and being okay with me being a human being and not a perfect one. So yeah, I mean, vulnerability is, I think it's a skill, and also it's way of being for me. Being vulnerable, of sharing who I am, allows me to actually move forward from where I am to the next step. Because in the past, I found it hard to share my challenges in business. I found it hard to share my challenges in personal relationships. And so by not sharing, I actually wasn't addressing the issues. I weren't learning the skills needed to move forward. Now, even by the virtue of, creating those videos, I am acknowledging that, I have a lot of knowledge, I have a lot of experience, and yet I'm not perfect. I'm learning how to share my experience, my knowledge effectively on video, and that is a big step for me, uh, because I feel like I have practiced so much to be good, to be to look good, to hustle towards the goals and pretend that I'm reaching what I want. And now, taking a step back, slowing down, moving through different countries just so that I can give myself enough tension to break through my ways of being and discover something new about myself, and in that something new start to see what is the next step for me in my personal life and in my business. And so, as I'm recording this video, we are kind of thinking what's next for us in our journey, where to next, whether to change the country, whether to stay in the country we are in. And that is also something I couldn't share before because my private life was closed, my business life was closed, and it all had a template, a standard of how I should be, how I should communicate, and how I should show up. And so now, as I'm starting opening up to the world, I do also feel that even the stuckness that I felt in having the fear to communicate who I am, sharing my, what I'm striving for, what I'm standing for, was starting to release. And it just becomes so exciting to feel that in that vulnerability of saying that, I want to create a movement of realized women with what I do, I feel excited because it is true for me, it has been true for so many years, but I never said it out loud clearly. Maybe it's not yet effective, but I'm getting to the clarity. And in that, I do feel that the way I felt about vulnerability in the past, as in, like oversharing or don't be weak, now I feel that vulnerability has been my true secret weapon. I don't want to use weapon, my true secret, not a secret actually, something special that has been moving me forward step by step. And so, yeah, being vulnerable is scary, but it is giving me and has given me already a lot of freedom by the virtue of allowing me to see myself for who I am and where I am.